what everybody may no longer be enjoying is Watch Dogs. Apparently, there's a strong rumor going around that Watch Dogs is over, and it is due to the failure of Watch Dogs Legion. This is not confirmed by Ubisoft. This is a rumor.
But is it a surprise?
But it wouldn't surprise me if this was the truth and it was a 100% leak or on point.
I think this is a safe bet. I don't know. Like, I know this is just a rumor, but yeah, they need, especially Ubisoft needs to make a lot of money right now, and they can't bank another failure like that. But to be fair, it was their fault because the game didn't even launch for multiplayer. Because I remember me and Freak specifically being excited to play the game, and and then they didn't even have multiplayer ready.
Which one was that?
Was that the one that's being blamed? Legion. Yes.
Legion.
Yeah,
Legion. Yeah. So, because remember me and you, Freak, we were like, yeah, we're excited, we're gonna play it, and then it just never happened. They were just like, so is multiplayer come? And then they never announced anything. They never updated anything. They just, it was just horribly, they didn't follow through. So, like, honestly, a lot of it's their fault. I don't think, you know, either the devs or Ubisoft or whoever, or marketing, I don't know who to blame, maybe all of them. But yeah, I was totally ready to play the game, but because of the lack of updates, and even in the marketing, they advertised the multiplayer from the jump. So how are you gonna advertise multiplayer from the jump, but then when the game launches, not have multiplayer? I don't know.
The game released in, I believe it was June. It was June of that year. I think it was. What was it? Yeah, I think it was.
I thought it was November,
like October, November or something, bro. And then the multiplayer was supposed to come out in like December.
No, there's.
Yeah, and it never did.
I think it came out. That's why I think it came out. It came out a lot earlier because I think the multiplayer was at like 3 months.
Came out in October.
October. Yeah, so the multiplayer was 3 months off, and then it got delayed. The multiplayer didn't even launch on December.
But it never launched.
No, it launched, but I just don't think it launched when they wanted it to launch. I don't think it was ready, and it's just like I didn't play. I played the first Watch Dogs. I was one of the people who bought into the hype, right? Got it when it came out. Didn't hate the game. I did enjoy it for what it was, but definitely was not what they had. It was one of those Ubisoft classic Ubisoft bait and switch, right? Yeah, the class. It was one of the initial starters of the bait and switch Ubisoft aspects of it, right? And then Watch Dogs 2 came out, and apparently it was really good. I never played that one, but apparently that was one that got a lot of people's faith back into the franchise of Watch Dogs, and a lot of people liked the aspect of all the members that were part of the team. I don't think they were playable, but I think that just having the team aspect of it. So I think that's what gave them the idea for Legion to just like, oh, let's just have it. You be able to recruit anybody off the street, and then of course that plays into a big part of the multiplayer. But if you advertise that, and then you don't launch with it, people were canceling their pre-orders when they heard, oh, it's not launching with the multiplayer. Cancel the pre-order.
Makes sense.
I was gonna buy the game. I was looking at purchasing it. I was like, you know what? I will absolutely buy this to play the co-op multiplayer. Oh, it's not launching with the game. I'm going to wait now until it launches because then the game is likely going to be on sale. So I think it's a little unfair for them to put the blame on this when that was a hardcore mistake.
The blame is the game not living up to what it was supposed to live up to. Now, obviously, we're quote unquote Ubisoft shills. We're sponsored by Ubisoft according to fucking comments, right? Even though we constantly shit on Ubisoft every chance we get, but we're sponsored. I would love to get sponsored by a company that we shit on 24/7. But regardless, I didn't buy it, right? I know I didn't buy the first Watch Dogs because I'm not the biggest fan. Like people say, every Ubisoft game is Ubisoft games are usually a wait and see. I think the last game and one of the only games that I bought day one from Ubisoft was Rainbow Six Siege, because you know it's a multiplayer game, it's a shooter, all the homies are buying it, and because I was a huge fan of Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2, right? So I was like, oh my god, another Rainbow Six Vegas follow-up or a sequel, whatever. I bought that. That was the last game that I ever bought from Ubisoft, I think, on release, right? Because after that, we had The Division, Watch Dogs, what the fuck else? We had the Ghost Recon,
Wildlands, Badlands.
We had a couple of them. Yeah, we had a couple of them. We had the Splinter Cell. That game was decent. I forgot what the last one was, but that one was decent.
Blacklist? Blacklist?
Yeah.
Or Conviction?
Was it Blacklist?
One of the two.
Nah, Conviction was old. That was on 360 fucking PS3. But the latest one was probably,
I think it was Blacklist.
Whatever you said. Yeah, Blacklist. So when it comes to Ubisoft has this habit. They, like you said, they were the first ones, not the first ones, but they were one of the main culprits of, they show you a game, the game is ready to come out. It looks nothing like what they initially showed you. So that turns me off the majority of the time. I always get turned off by that because I'm like, I was hyped for this initial, vision of the game, and then we get this. Like, nah, I'm not a fan of that shit. And then the concept of Watch Dogs was cool.
Yeah,
right?
It was
amazing.
super cool. Like
But in the back of my head, I was like, I don't know, bro. This shit ain't gonna work, man. The first game, I'm sure, like, it had its issues, but I heard that it was decent enough.
It was okay. It was okay, but it was.
Yeah, it was decent enough to prove like the naysayer was wrong, right? I still didn't want to play it. Watch Dogs 2, I was kind of excited to play that game, and then it came out, and I was like, this kind of looks alright, man. But I never got around to it. Then Legion came out, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, look, y'all were hyped for it. I had no interest in it because it looked like that was the beginning of the era of the co-op fucking when I saw that multiplayer, I was like, this looks like the co-op fucking looter shooter formula, blah blah blah, that we have now, the typical 4-player fucking shit. Like that was the beginning of that for me, where I was like, I'm not interested in this. But like I said, the concept is cool, but I always feel like they never lived up to that hype, like the potential of that concept. I mean, it's a hard concept to live up to, right? Just being able to hack everybody, do all this wild shit, have all these, dynamic moments in the game. But that's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
To live up to,
so
man. And
I was very
up to it.
Yeah, and I was very similar to the Freak's feelings about Watch Dogs. But the thing is, for me, the whole marketing thing was about this multiplayer. It just made it out to be this major part of the game. If the multiplayer wasn't ready,
yeah,
why don't you delay the game?
Yeah, I think that was a Legion specific problem. I personally think that the series would have had an issue regardless of if that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that definitely didn't help.
That game could have definitely, if that multiplayer launched, it was godlike. That definitely catapulted the game, right? The series, right? But
I think so.
I think that they should have solidified that series first before they started trying to promise things they couldn't fucking keep promises on. Like that series could have been huge, bro.
Yeah,
but I don't know. That was also the Ubisoft that was annualizing Assassin's Creed. They were trying to put out fucking 50 games a fucking year. We forgot that the Division was also a victim of the we show you this and then this is not what you get at launch.
One of the biggest ones.
Now look, the same thing happened to the Division 2, right? I heard Division 2 was good, right? But there were so many people that just got burned by the first game that it was like, I'm not interested, right? Like the Division 1, I got it and I was like, this is so fucking boring, right? And then the Division 2 came out and I actually enjoyed the bit of it that I played, but at that point I just didn't care because I felt burned already. I was like, this is typical Ubisoft bullshit. So I don't know.
Especially when you have a shady reputation like Ubisoft,
exactly.
You have to. And here's the thing that I don't think either the upper management or whoever's in charge doesn't understand. You need to make a great first impression, first step, boom. There should be no BS, no blah, blah, blah. You say a game has multiplayer, when it launches, it should have multiplayer, or it should have a single player game, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, there's just too much doubt in the ether about Ubisoft that you guys can't risk, trying to salvage shit at the last second
actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, wasn't Ubisoft one of the originals that doing that shit too? They would launch a game and it would be so ass, and then you'd hear about it like 2 years later, like, yo man, Division 2 is amazing now. Yo, this game is amazing now. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, damn, it's a little too late for that now. So and honestly,
it's just
like the way you salvage that is you knock it out of the park with the sequel. Like, you take all the lessons you learned from the first game and just implement that shit in the sequel, which I'm sure is what they did with Watch Dogs 2, right? Which is why it was considered, better than the first game or whatever. I'm sure they did that. But was it enough? I don't know.
Yeah, but
because Legion comes out and just fucking.
But the thing is, if you burn someone on the first of a game, that's so hard to come back from. You know what I mean? It's different. Look, it's even different if you knocked it out of the park in the first one and the second one you were lazy with it, and then like say you were making a third one, and then that one should be on point, or like you know what I mean. But like that after that first one, like if you get a bad. It's like, well, why I'm gonna go in 2, and then like I don't know what happened to 1, and I don't want to play 1. Like like there's like a whole thing to consider when
y'all know me. I'm very
mess it up on the first.
If I'm gonna get into a sequel, I have to play the first game, but I don't want to play the first game because I don't like the first game.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
Yeah. So it's just
Ubisoft games will forever be cursed until
game developers. This is an important lesson for game developers, bro. Like, if it's the first in your series, you have to knock it out of the park. If you're struggling for money, I would delay it. I would take out a loan. I would do whatever I need to do because that first impression is everything.
I'm playing Stellar Blade right now, and it's kind of crazy that you talk about first impression. The first impression of this game is amazing. Yeah. No performance issues. We got what they promised. The game doesn't look downgraded or whatever. Yeah, it might not look as. Actually, no. I think the first trailer of this game looks. I think it panned out. You know. Like how we expected it to. They didn't fucking. It's not a completely different looking game than what we got at first. Bro, do you remember the first Rainbow Six Siege trailer? That is not what we got.
I do. That is not what we got. I mean, we got the idea of the gameplay. It was more of a storyboard.
That's great.
We got the gameplay, but
this was an era.
That's another game that was
getting.
A year later, Siege was like the best game ever.
Yeah,
because
I loved it.
When on launch, people hated it.
But a competitive game is different.
And then later on,
because a competitive game can have peaks and valleys. Like a competitive game could be shit at its launch and then become the best game of all time later, and then be shit again later.
Siege continues to be a popular game now, and you know
it goes up and down.
Another peak and valley,
popularity. Yeah,
of course.
So a competitive game is different when it comes to the games that we usually know Ubisoft for, which is like their co-op, their single player kind of. You know what I'm saying? All they need to do is just bring Splinter Cell back, make that shit good again. Just bring back. Well, I don't want to say bring back Prince of Persia because they don't know what they want to do with Prince of Persia, right?
They're doing another 2D game.
The new Assassin's Creed game seems like it's gonna be good, but Ubisoft just became an Assassin's Creed machine after a while.
And even that seems like they lost the identity with that, right? Like,
yeah, they did the same thing Activision did, where they just annualized the shit and they just forgot. They were making so much money off of annualizing that one game that everything else just felt like second thought to them. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Ubisoft is in a prime position right now to not be ass. You know what I mean? They've put out a lot of games that seemed risky, like that Prince of Persia game, like that side-scrolling Prince of Persia game that was actually good, but you know what? People didn't buy it because it sucks, man. Because on one hand, I don't feel bad, but on the other hand, I do, because it's like when the devs do take a risk, nobody wants to fucking buy the game, right? So then why wouldn't they just keep annualizing games and just fucking shoving out bullshit? When people are gonna buy that bullshit, right? People aren't gonna buy the new thing that you took a risk on. So it's hard, man.
They poison the well too much.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. When I first saw that Prince of Persia game, I was like, wow, this looks cool. This looks different than what Ubisoft has been giving us. It looks good. It came out, it was good, but it doesn't sell.
Yeah. The Avatar game came out okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure that's
that sold well. But like that, but I'm just saying, like, as hard as we are Ubisoft, we give credit where credit's due, right?
To be fair, Prince of Persia probably didn't sell because Prince of Persia's been out of the limelight for so long that people don't even know what the fuck. The majority of these new gamers probably don't even know what the fuck Prince of Persia is. Their introduction to Ubisoft is Assassin's Creed, so they should have released like a hype ass AAA Prince of Persia game to bring Prince of Persia back, but they didn't want to take that risk.
It seems like they're still moving forward with the franchise, though. They're releasing another game, another 2D game in the same vein, same like kind of storytelling.
That doesn't make any sense to me, though. I don't know. It's just like you just released like a Metrovania Prince of Persia game just for you to release a similar one that's I don't know. I think
that's this next one is also from the devs who made Dead Cells, right? I think that's
Which
the
is
story
cool.
behind it. Which is
No, but I get that. But then you should know, like, you're Ubisoft. You know these projects are coming out. So why would you pair one literally right after the other? Like, there's not even space. It's like they're coming out within the same year. That's
I don't know. I feel like Ubisoft right now is just desperate.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
They
regarding
need to
Prince
do
of
with
Persia,
every game, like they do. Aside, like they're doing Assassin's Creed right now, taking a break. Take a break.
I think with Prince of Persia, they're probably pushing whatever universe they're building for that franchise right now, right? Whatever, like kind of like reboot, because it was a
What
it was a
universe?
new
Though, 'cause
person.
no one's gonna care because no one's buying the game.
Yeah, but then the next, I guess, main game is probably gonna be something within that. So they're
I don't
trying to
know.
piece
They
everything together.
just need to have a whole new game, whole new Prince of Persia game. Like, actually, they don't even need to have a new Prince of Persia game. Like, just if you want it to be Assassin's Creed, just make a new good Assassin's Creed. If you want it to be Prince of Persia, make a new good game. Just make the game good, and people will fucking just stop half-assing shit, man. That's like the main lesson that these fucking devs should learn. Stop half-assing shit, bro. I don't want to keep sucking Celeblade dry, but like, this is an entirely new IP, bro, by a dev that we know nothing about. Yeah, they made a mobile game. Congratulations, but other than that, we knew nothing about these devs, right? And if they could come out the gate, make a good game, polished, right? Despite how you feel about it, whatever. The game has from what I've seen, there's rarely any bugs, no performance issues. The game is what we expected the game to be. Just make a game like that and make the people that spend the money on it happy, and then you'll be good. Like, stop launching bullshit games that the servers don't work. The game is buggy as shit, which we know Ubisoft games are very known for being fucking buggy and glitchy as shit at launch, like, or just straight up broken. Like, just make a fucking game, dude. What is going on?
Yeah,
that's the main thing. Like, just make a fucking functional game, and you'll be fine.
And to bring it back, rest in peace, Watch Dogs. I don't think it's coming back anytime soon.
I'm not surprised. Like, I know there's a bunch of huge Watch Dogs fans, sure, but hey, man. Rest in peace.
Well, it is still a rumor. Maybe they're just putting it down and not working on it. Maybe they'll reboot the franchise.
They're focusing on too much.
Yeah.
Which they clearly can't do.
let's learn the lessons. Don't announce things if you aren't ready to launch them. I know you want shareholders. I know you want to garner hype. But don't promote a game on multiplayer and then not have that feature be available at launch. It would have been great if after 2 months of launch game, you then started promoting a new feature that was going to be released to get people more excited about it, as opposed to
I'm sure the game was ready, just not that aspect of it.
Exactly.
Which is
and
why
that would have
I don't know
gotten
why they
people
marketed that.
more into it and marketing in that way. But lessons need to be learned. Hopefully it's not canceled. Hopefully the rumor is, maybe they'll just put it down for a bit. Maybe they'll come and revisit the franchise and do a fresh reboot. And we'll have a sick-ass Watch Dogs game later